There is nowhere else quite like Mae Sot. This town marks the border between Thailand and Myanmar. In fact, it runs right along where I'm walking now. These stalls, all Burmese run, are actually on the other side. Now, ever since the military coup in Myanmar 5 years ago, Mae Sot's population has swollen by about 4 or 5 times, as people fleeing the civil war over there have sought sanctuary here. This has become a town of fugitives, rebels and spies, a town of hope and despair. And because it's so hard for people over there to speak freely, this is also one of the best places to hear what the people of Myanmar feel about what's happening in their country.
The military regime they ran away from is now more firmly entrenched than ever. With help from Russia and China, the army has been winning back territory it lost to armed opposition groups, and coup leader Min Aung Hlaing has sought to give himself some legitimacy by holding an election, rigged so the military's own party was guaranteed to win it. He's now getting greater recognition from regional powers like China. The revolution so many young Burmese dreamed of has stalled. With the regime once again in control on the other side, Mae Sot's border crossings have reopened. Most of the trade between the two countries passes this way. Yet the civil war is not over. Large numbers of Burmese still make their way across this river informally, without documents. Yin Yin Ong is one of them. She travelled 1,000 miles to get here because her little boy needs an operation. 2 years ago, she was among thousands of families driven out of her village by soldiers who charged in firing weapons. They had to survive in the forest for 6 months before starting the long trek to safety in Thailand.
Well, the heart of any town in Thailand is its main market, and here in Mae Sot, pretty much everything they sell is Burmese. Most of the people working here are Burmese. In fact, the influx of people from Myanmar has been so big that Mae Sot's become pretty much an all-Burmese town. Now, a lot of people have come here to get away from the civil war. Some want to continue resisting the military, but there are also a great many people who've come simply to get better livings that they can't have back in Myanmar.
This couple came for the birth of their first baby. The father is a former bartender turned fighter with one of the insurgent armies, so we can't identify him or his family. He's already keen to get back to the jungle to rejoin the fight against Min Aung Hlaing's regime.
Do you think one day you'll be able to go back to Yangon?
Not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
Maybe have to fight for all of your life?
Over on the other side of the border, his comrades keep up their unequal struggle against the army. But after more than 5 years of this war, with tens of thousands killed by airstrikes, by landmines and by a military regime with no regard for civilian casualties, some of those who joined the opposition are now exhausted and ready to stop.
This warren of rooms is one of the many safe houses that's been set up in Mae Sot to shelter those who've just arrived from Myanmar. And behind every one of these doors is a harrowing personal story. We're about to meet one young man who took up arms against the military regime at the age of just 17, was captured, jailed and dreadfully tortured. But now, he says, he's had a change of heart.
He told me how he got involved in the mass protests which broke out all over Myanmar after the coup. These were brutally suppressed by the army, and like so many young activists, he took up arms against the regime, launching attacks on the security forces in Myanmar's main city, Yangon.
And I put a timer bomb near the police station, and I tried to assassinate the informer of military government. I don't know the casualties.
He was eventually caught and, he says, tortured and sexually assaulted by prison guards. In that time, he began to question the armed struggle.
When I was in prison, my opinions totally changed, and I think the armed struggle is over because they don't unite at all. They fight each other, and I don't like this kind of situation.
So you lost faith in the armed struggle?
Yeah, I saw many casualties in wars, and it's really difficult to see like that. And I give up armed struggle, and not only armed struggle, but also in other kinds of struggle in politics.
You've given up altogether? You're not involved in the struggle now?
Yeah, I just choose another way.
So he's decided to study online and to teach children living in the safe house. Today they have a new neighbour. Yin Yin Ong has had to move here. She'd reached the limit allowed by her old safe house. She told me she really wants to return to her village, but while Min Aung Hlaing still runs the country, she doesn't dare go back. Over here, she has no job and no status. She's always at risk of arrest or deportation. But she also has no choice. She needs to raise the money for her son's operation. So for now, she must stay in Mae Sot, just one of the millions of Burmese who've been forced to leave their own country.